Public School Punishments by Stanley Animations.
Do I think schools should bring back punishments? Absolutely. I just watched a video of a girl putting her teacher in a headlock just for taking her cell phone, and I'm letting you know right now, if I gotta turn into Carl Anthony Towns just because you crackheads want your cell phone, the next place
we should bring back, or not even bring back, I think teachers should be allowed to fight your kid. As in like self-defense. You feel me? Because a lot of these young niggas nowadays, they're not even thinking. They just ready to fight. They ready to get it. And then you come here with this young teacher, way underpaid, and then your daughter come smack the shot at him, and then I gotta take it.
Into jail. Kids are too big these days to not have some sort of enforcement. I'm not saying hit them, but I should be able to press a button that airplane ejects them out of a classroom if they don't listen. Because back in my day, they never let us get away with any of that nonsense. So here are the most unusual punishments I've ever seen, and we're gonna—
yeah, because nowadays they things to distract them, and then I'll be seeing videos where the teacher telling me like, yo, put that down, and then you just hear wow, suck my dick fly from across the room. I just want you to get an education. Why are you telling me suck your dick? I have family that's actually a teacher. She just let them do what they do, and if they grow up dumb, they dumb. That's how it really should be. It's your choice to want to get an education. Now, in the younger ages, like when you're like, let's say you in like first to third or fourth grade, all right, that's my time to discipline them. Be like, oh, yo, pay attention, little nigga. Let your nuts drag. You feel me? That's when you got to tell them like, yo, chill out, pay attention. But when they pass, like when they in high school and their life is basically on them now, and you gotta keep reminding them, yo, come to class, yo, pay attention in class, yo, get off your phone, yo, listen to me, yo, what's 2 + 2? And then everybody's reading at a fourth grade fucking level. Then at parent teacher conference, they looking at you crazy because why did my daughter or my son get a C in your class? Why did my daughter get a D in your class? Like, bitch, I don't even know who the fuck this kid is. He never comes to my class. Be glad he got a C.
We're gonna rank them from S tier to F tier, and the calculations are fully based off vibe.
Now, I ain't gonna lie though. I was one of them kids who was not going to class, but I was passing all of my classes. See, I was different. I was moving different. I knew all this shit. I was just bored. See, I was against shit because I was against shit. I was bored. You feel me? But see, when I got into high school, I locked in. Now, granted, in high school, I wasn't paying attention still because I already knew this shit. I was one of them kids who you would think I was the dumbest nigga in the school. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just there. But when that test came around, ooh, I probably had the top 5 grade in class. 90s, 80s. I think my worst class was math. Probably had like a 70-something, 80-something on my Regents exam. I was bodying them shits. It's just I didn't like being in class.
Okay, let's go. First on the list, dunce cap or dunce cap. For those of you that don't know what it is, when kids acted dumb or actually were dumb in class, they put a pointy hat on your head so that the other kids will laugh at you in hopes that the embarrassment would motivate you to be better. I'm gonna give this one a D because a nigga like me who got made fun of for being dark skinned is not feeling the jokes the kids are throwing at me for being stupid. I had a kid take the little rope from his backpack straps and started hitting me in the back with it, telling me to get—
That's crazy. We ain't never went that far when I was in school. That's dragging it. But you see, but dark people, like really, like I'm brown. I'm like, some people will say I'm black number 3. But when you got somebody who's black number 1 and they were like damn near purple, they was getting it. Garbage bag, leather seat, calling them all kinds of shit. Yo, close your eyes and smile. Every time they wheel out the dry erase board, the smart erase board, and niggas say, yo, close your eyes and smile. And then it's like, yo, where did it go? Every day, bro. I wasn't getting them jokes because I'm a little lighter than that. Like, you feel me? Like, purple.
Silent lunch. This is another low ranking one in my opinion, so I'm gonna give it a solid F tier. As a nigga who wants nothing more than to not interact with other niggas, silent lunch was less like a curse and more like a blessing. I remember seeing kids getting silent lunch and I would be jealous because I wanted to have it, and that's not how a punishment's supposed to feel. The only problem was that to get silent lunch you would typically have to yap more than a Bruce drop 'em off apology video, and I'm not doing that. I only had silent lunch one time in my life. Until this day, I've never taken a better nap on a desk. Third on this list is a good one. Okay, we got no recess. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a S tier. As a little boy, there's nothing more important than going to recess and racing.
How am I gonna get to the NBA if you're telling me to sit down during recess? How was I gonna practice to get to the NFL if you're telling me to sit down during recess? How was I gonna be the next LeBron, Lamar Jackson, James Jr. the third if I'm sitting down during recess? That's like You stunted my career. I could have been the greatest of all time, but no, I'm in the office.
Also kind of ties into another school punishment, no after school activities. This is an A tier punishment, just like the recess. Only reason it isn't S tier is because even though I wanted to play the sport, I never wanted to go to practice, bro. It was hard if I got in trouble.
Everybody want to be on a team, but don't want to go to practice. I just want to show up for the game and be LeBron. You feel me? See, back when I was in high school, I used to play football. My school was like a good 3 miles away from the actual football field. So traveling there every day after school was a pain. So I would never go to practice.
On my high school basketball team, I played center, okay? And I don't know why they thought they were gonna get the next Shaq out of me. Instead of Shaquille O'Neal, I was more like a Shaquille O'No, I'm not coming to practice today. So any excuse to not run like I'm practicing for a Tom Cruise action movie stunt double, I was taking it. Punishment number 4 is pink slips. I don't know if you guys had this one, but this is for when you get in trouble on the bus. And getting a pink slip was crazy because pink slips are handed out by bus drivers and not teachers. In my school, one pink slip was all it ever took to make anyone act right. I've never seen a single soul in my life act worse because as soon as you get one pink slip, they force you to make your parents sign it. And on top of that, your parents had to come into school and have a discussion about it. And if your parents are even half as first generation as mine are, man, my room was sounding like an Indiana Jones movie night when I got a pink slip. I literally got whipped into shape. I damn near came back.
And you come back with like the thickest fucking cloth belt you could find. I used to sit there and sabotage myself and go through every single belt she had and make sure it was the softest cotton belt you could find. Because when I was younger, everybody had the little cotton belts with the little metal loops. That was like the thing back in the days. They threw it on every pair of shorts, everything. That was like the belt. You feel me? So my mom would have about 3 of those in the closet, but she'll also have her go to like work leather belts. I would hide the leather belts deeper into the closet to make sure that if she because I would come back and she'd be like, yo, this ain't a real belt, go get a real belt. So I would go back and get another one that's exactly the same, and then she would go and get one herself. So I would hide it like deeper into the closet. So she can't, when she goes and try to get it, she couldn't find that shit. See, you gotta think 3 steps ahead of your parents, you feel me? She still beat my ass, feel me? She found that belt, she found it, but she had to work to do it, you feel me? I never did the other techniques of padding my pants or adding like different things to my pants so that I don't get like whippings or anything like that, or it doesn't hit me. But I used to hide them belts. And you know you're getting too old to get hit with a belt, because one time I came home, I was being bad. You feel me? I wasn't being bad. It was more or less I had my little brother with me, and his mom told him to like, yo, if he's lollygagging on the way home, just leave him. He left me while I was in the shoe store wilding, window shopping. I ain't got no money to buy none of this shit, but you feel me? I'm like, yo, this tough. And he left me, and he got home before me. So when I got home, she was already ready to whip my ass. She already had the belt, and he didn't know that, but she struck me twice in the leg. You feel me? The first time it didn't hurt, and she could see it didn't hurt, right? So the second time she hit it again, but I started to catch on. She's only doing that because I look like it don't hurt. You feel me? So I had to like, right? So she could see I'm bullshitting. So she going, oh, so you think you too big for a belt? You think you big and bad for a belt? So she punched me in my chest, and that was the last time I got hit with a belt. And that was the last time I fucking crossed her, you feel me? Because my mom could hit. She used to put out them fucking Mayweather jabs, you feel me?
You wanted to go on the field trip and you were somehow Peter Parker, you would have a better chance at Uncle Ben taking you than my school letting you back on that bus. Number 5, we got the infamous timeout. Throw it away. Throw it all away. F tier. I've never seen it work. I've never heard it work. If timeout was a person, I tell him to kill him. No.
Teachers cutting off your hair?
Through this a little bit so my team doesn't hate me. Sorry guys. I didn't even know that they did this outside of the military. But could you imagine getting into a fight during school and losing said fight, and now the teacher is gonna make you look like an airbender? Catching Two-Face in one day screams S tier to me.
Fucking way. My child come home, because if somebody at the school cuts off my child hair, I will be at that school in 2 minutes. And I'm beating the fuck out of whoever it was. It's not even like I'm mad at my kid no more, because whatever he did is whatever he did now. You took it a step further and said, yo, let me cut off his head. All right, bet. Watch this. Now niggas gonna have to call the police.
Definitely would keep me out of trouble. I like this one. At number 7, we got forcing you to read your notes out loud. This one is a solid C for me. It's not scary, but it can be, because imagine you're passing a note to your crush and the teacher sees it and she's making you read it out loud. And the whole time while you're reading it, shorty is avoiding eye contact with you maliciously. Oh! Yeah, that would be my 13th reason too, bro. I'd be on Amazon looking for what rope matches my aesthetic tonight. Number 8, threatening to call your parents. A classic one. I gotta give this one a B tier. And it's not that it's not good enough to be an A or even an S tier, but sometimes parents...
It could easily be an S tier if your parent like that, but it could easily be an F tier because your parents could just not give a fuck. You feel me? And then you got most of the parents nowadays where now they're not even like, they don't give a fuck what you saying. They just, oh, let me defend my baby. My baby ain't do it. No, let me defend my baby. Like, all right, copy. You're making the next Jeffrey Dahmer, but cool. You defended your baby.
Gonna do with the
he's reading at a 2nd grade level, but you know, your baby.
Punishment itself, that has everything to do with the parents and how
the motherfucker is playing cool math games in the middle of class on his fucking iPad while we're teaching them about 2 + 2. But, you know, let's come up here and fight the teacher because the teacher is trying to make sure your child is learning something. My bad.
Is accountable. So, B tier. Number 9, we're getting a little spicy here. Getting on your knees with frozen peas on the ground. F tier. It's giving psycho because who looked at a bag of frozen peas and immediately thought of kids afterwards? That's the only question that I have for this one because honestly, yuck. There's just so many options you could do before getting to this one, and I'm just not a fan of this one.
Yeah, that's corporal punishment. Nah, that's too far. That's too far. That's corporal punishment. You shouldn't be doing shit like that to your kids. That's basically like that shit you do to like get who killed Osama bin Laden out. You feel me?
Last one is punishment number 10, which is the paddle. And this one, man, this one right here is S tier, purely because of how absolutely terrified everyone was of this punishment. In my old elementary school, we had this huge principal. I'm talking about
fighting a deer with your bare hands is insane. And then this is the nigga that's giving out paddles at school.
2 foot long, 2 foot wide paddle made of wood so strong you couldn't break it even if you wanted to. And the paddle was kept in his office inside of a case only for his use. And if a kid got too rowdy or started acting too crazy, they would drag you to his office, and all throughout the hallway, all you would hear is wah, wah, wah. And kids are crying. He still doesn't care. Wah, 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 which is crazy, but that was the most academically successful school that I ever attended. I'm pretty sure it was one of, if not the best school in that county. So take it how you want it. I don't know. But to be clear, I'm not saying this is the right way to operate a school. Matter of fact, none of these are, because the decision falls on the shoulder of you, the person. Parents in schools can guide you, instilling things like respect and compassion, yet the core of who you are is in the choices you make daily. Choosing to be good isn't instantly rewarding, and in a world that values shortcuts, being a bad person seems beneficial. But remember, being good is like a promise of being a better person yourself and making the world a better place. So when you have the option to take the
my first eater, W video though. W video. I did not know they was doing all that shit to kids as punishment, but W video. I will whoop somebody's ass if somebody cuts my child's hair off at school.